Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're going over questions 46 to 49 of the Pink booklet, which is also called Practice Test 3. So in this unit, we have two poems, and we're told that they were both written in 1901, towards the end of the poet's life. And he recollects a woman to whom he had been close some 25 years earlier. So again, just reading that, get a bit of context. Poet's towards the end of his life, he's probably very reflective, and he's thinking about a woman that he knew 25 years earlier. So quite a big time. So question 46. Which of the following best characterizes the difference in emotional quality between line 1 and line 9 of poem 1? So here we have line 1 and here we have line 9. So line 1, she was too kind, wooed too persistently. Then line 9, for she was plain and lame and fat and short. So what I think you should do is start with line 9. It's sort of easier. And again, whenever you have these double-barreled answers, just break it down. It's much easier to do it like that rather than to try and go do them together. So let's just start with line 9. I'm only looking at line 9. Is line 9, are they evasive in line 9? Absolutely not. Evasive is like hiding from something or hiding from the truth. He's come out and said that she was plain. So plain is another word for sort of uh not ugly, but more like just kind of like a boring average face, not attractive, lame, fat, and short. He's come out and insulted her 4 times in the space of one line. So he's definitely not being evasive. So therefore it can't be A. Is he unsparing? Yes, he is unsparing. Because as I just said, he's come out with 4 insults in the space of one line. That's it. So he's like, the gloves are off. Here we go. He's not unsparing. He doesn't care about her feelings or anything like that. Is he being wry? No. And is he resigned? No. So just by doing that, we can immediately know that the answer is B, just by looking at line 9. Now we can just double check it and say what was line 1 for B? Line 1 from B was sympathetic. Is he sympathetic in the first line? Yes. Too kind, wooed too persistently. It's like saying he's having a bit of sympathy, like, I want to try and, interact or, maybe this woman could be a potential partner for me, but she's too kind. He's trying to be a little bit sympathetic, but by the time we get to line 9, he's like, nah, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Okay, question 47. Read in the light of poem 1 as a whole, the word kind emphasizes the woman's. So here we have when they are used. So line 1, she was too kind, wooed too persistently. Then line 9, for she was plain and lame and fat and short, 40 and overkind. And then line 13, had she been more beauticious, just replace that with the word beautiful. Had she been more beautiful or less kind, she might have found me of another mind. So, what's happening here? We're sort of building intensity. The first time they meet, he's like, she was just a little bit too kind, maybe came off a little bit overbearing. And then we step it up. She's now plain, not plain. She's lame, she's fat, she's short, she's 40. Oh my goodness, 40 with a capital F. And she's overkind. So she's not just too kind now, she's overkind. And then we step it up again. Had she been more beautiful, she might have found me of another mind. Had she been more attractive or less kind, she might have found me of another mind. So what's happening? We're building intensity. Things are getting more intense as the poem goes on, and the author's getting much more irritated. At first, it's just like, oh, she's a bit too kind, a bit too, overbearing. Now it's, oh, she's really overkind, and also here are 5 other insults that I could throw at her. And if only she was more beautiful, she might have gotten away with this or might have found me with other mind, but just, yeah, wasn't going to work. So that is why the answer is A. Um, B, generosity of spirit. I mean, you can get that from just the general tone. I don't think he's generous at all. We're not talking about physical here, and he's definitely not emotionally vulnerable. Okay, 48. Lines 11 to 14. in lines 11 to 14 of poem 2, The Poet. So this is what's happened here. He says, "A man will yield for pity if he can, but if the flesh rebels, what can he do? I could not, hence I grieve my whole life long the wrong I did, in that I did no wrong." So what does this mean, the flesh rebels? Well, we're talking here basically about sex and sexual intercourse. And usually in these types of poems or this language, when you're talking about the word like flesh, it's talking about a very specific part of a man's body, which I will leave you to figure that one out. And what he's saying is that, he would give in to her for pity if he can. But if the flesh rebels, if he doesn't find her attractive, if he has some sort of physical aversion to her, what can he do? Nothing. So he's like, yeah, maybe if I pity you, but sorry, it's not happening, it's not going to work. So he says he can't help his lack of attraction. He can't help that he doesn't feel attracted to this woman, but he still feels a little bit guilty about it. The wrong I did, in that I did no wrong. Hence I grieve my whole life long, the wrong I did, in that I did no wrong. So he does feel guilty, even though he's also saying, look, I tried really hard to be attracted to her and I just couldn't be, but I still feel guilty about it. And again, if we take a step back, he's at the end of his life and he's writing two poems about this woman who he hasn't seen for 25 years. So again, just a bit of context tells us that he does feel some guilty guilt. So that is why the answer is D, because he feels morally responsible for the consequences of a physical aversion. 49. Which one of the following is a plausible criticism of the emotional content of poem 2? So if we read poem 2, what is it saying? It's very centered about the author, which is fair enough. He's the one writing it. But he's saying 20 years have come and gone, but that face is still with him. Never a day, but what on everyone. So he sees the face every day. She dwells with me. She says she wished I knew. It was not that I knew and not would have chosen. So he's like, this woman's sort of haunting him, even though they haven't seen each other for 25 years. And then he talks about, as we just said in the other question, like the flesh rebelling. So what is his criticism? A, he's detached and distant. Absolutely not. He's written two poems about this woman at the end of his life in quite a lot of detail, so he's definitely not detached or distant. B, tends to idealize human relations. There's nothing in here about idolizing human relations. C, ignores the reality of his own needs. No, in fact, he actually accepted the reality of his own own needs, because remember, his flesh rebelled. So he's walking away, um, when it became clear that he was not physically attracted to her. And then D is more interested in himself than the woman. Yes, because that's what he keeps bringing up. He keeps bringing up about how he's rebelling and how he would yield to pity if he can. He did no wrong. So that is why the answer option is D. So hopefully that all made sense and made poetry a little bit less scary. I do have videos on the website about how to analyze poetry in a bit more detail. If you're still struggling with poetry, have a look at those videos. But if not, I will see you in the next video.